And Lakesha Veritas. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I am marvelous.
I see that. I see you're engaged with the flowers over here.
Yes, they're just lovely, and it's just wonderful to be so close to the flowers and the consciousness of healing at this level. Very happy to be here. Thank you very much, Diane, for bringing us flowers.
Yeah, sign of respect and gratitude. Shout out to Diane.
Yes.
Always showing love. And this one right here, I was like, oh my gosh, you're just doing the most. I want to be like you. It's all radiant,
Yes.
luminous. So today we're talking about truth.
Yes, I'm happy to talk about truth.
And, we're always talking about truth, but through the lens of the Sun Tenets.
Yes. So we went through a tenet last week. So we're going to go over the tenet we went through last week and then add the next one. There's 7 tenets that give structure and order to who we are and of the sun. And we want to share these things with you because they're valuable in any situation to anyone at any time, always. Your children, your grandmother, your relationships, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your cat.
That's right. You can use this on everything.
Yes.
It's a good infomercial. Your cat, your girlfriend, your husband. Okay, so these other Sun Tenets, if you missed our last podcast, we were really speaking about like who are we, and making sure that that's clarified, and who are you connecting with, who are you in resonance with, and what does it mean to be of the sun. And you taught me years ago that the idea of laws and principles, like with that, there can be self-governance.
Yes.
And that's what's required within our universe as souls, humans, and we're over here doing our thing with the Mother Earth, but we've lost reference points to these concepts, and maybe we intellectually know about these things, but the embodiment, the actual living, that's a whole different story.
Right.
So we're diving into these concepts, like what this is look like in terms of the embodiment, breaking down the understanding. So one, again, you can see and understand who we are, but also what is it that we're striving for collectively to anchor onto this plane.
And are you joining on to something you're in agreement with? Or are we able to help you by filtering out what you're not in agreement with so that you can move on to those who you are in agreement with?
Yeah, that's right. Keep it, yeah. If it fits, the shoe fits, cool. If not, go to a different store.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's important that everybody's shoe fits,
It
no
is.
matter what it is. All right, so before we dive into this, and look at everyone, we see some of you are dropping into the chat and into the live stream. So we welcome you all for tuning in with us. And we are in the month of June, and LaOta,
Yes.
the sun, LaOta the sun. The sun has been doing this thing in the month of June.
Yes.
And I was having this thought like, oh my gosh, this is why they're trying to block it. It feels as though there has been a shift in an intensity of some sort. Something's going on. You have any thoughts on this at all in terms of
The question is...
the shift with the solar rays and the sun?
Oh, absolutely. We are moving into the shifts of the galactic churning of the universe in such a way where the sun is going to become much more prominent in our experience, as well as other galactic events. We're moving out of the darkness of the time that we have all just come out of towards the time of a golden age and light, and so it's happening by inches and degrees.
Yes. Speaking of golden age, the light, even how the sun illuminates, looked different.
The color looks different.
It's golden yellowish. It's something's different here.
Yeah, there's
It's
different
palpable.
things going on, and there are different things in the air, and there are different things, different fractions of consciousness that are presenting in a different way.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of that. Pay attention to all of the elements: air, earth, water, and fire. Fire is the sun. This is our solution. This is what we are. We are earth, air, earth, water, fire, ether. The Mother Earth is that also. This is a solution for the time of the deconstruction that we are living in, to be in touch with the intelligence and consciousness of the elements, as well as making sure that you are not afraid of nature or creation and that which was created, as we have been taught to be somewhat afraid of Mother Earth and all of her children. That's not a solution in the time we live in.
No.
Yes.
That would be the ally to have
Yes.
your back. And so this is so in keeping with, we've been in light body, crown chakra, and our guidance has brought to our awareness the importance of, when you're building up, you must have that stable foundation. So operating in the crown, our connection with the earth is just as important in terms of our capacity to reach and connect and sustain our connection with the higher realms. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, the principle applies, is as a universal principle that as a tree grows up, it must have roots that go down equally as far. As we move into what we are calling obtainment or enlightenment, the lower chakras have to be clean and clear to stabilize the higher realms, to stabilize the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. So the base, the solar plexus, and the sacral have to be clear, straight, rooted, and able to stabilize the higher realms. Otherwise, it's not going to be balanced.
Yeah, jinky architecture.
Yes.
And such a thing. So again, join us. We are in the crown, and we are actually about to wrap up this session with the
Yes.
phase 2 of the light body movement, moving into our third phase. And so, especially for those who are looking to tune in, join us. We're going into the next phase. We'll be starting again from the root chakra, building that foundation. So if you've been tuning in and you're like, ooh, I want to do light body, here's your chance. So in the month of July, and every first, second, third, and fourth Sunday, we're together activating the energy centers focused for the duration of the month. We're going into group meditations, practices and activities that you can take throughout the week, because integration is just as important, like strengthening it, being able to identify and see the changes within you, within the field, holographically.
Being in a group adds so much to your activations and your learning. Of course, you can learn things online. Of course, you can listen to videos on YouTube. Of course, you can do a variety of things. You can join for classes and have an instructor. But the value of having a group of like-minded people all looking for the same exaltation, elevation, and clarity of moving into their own light body as their original design, as their birthright, has a great deal of power. You are invited to join us. It is visceral. People are having results that they're talking about, where people can see their light, where they're having greater experiences, where they're receiving funds, where things are going in their favor, and they can feel and see each other's light. So you are encouraged to join us. It is expansive, and we'll start the base chakra in the month of July.
Yeah.
We'll be starting another round, and the rounds that we have gone before will become available to you. The textbooks that have been written for each chakra at each level will be available to you through digitally if you join the class. So this is a wonderful opportunity. You are encouraged to lean into it, to do it at your own pace, but that we are starting over again, so you always have every 7 months an opportunity to start at the beginning. However, wherever you start is the right place.
Most certainly, wherever. And so, again, visit the Avoidance website. You can find the link in the description. And so, speaking of classes, we are moving into quantum light device clearing.
Yay!
Clearing these gadgets.
You're clearing that, you're doing that class tonight,
Yeah,
teaching?
we're doing it tonight.
This is so important. I know you have a lot to say. I'll just be quiet. It is so important. Well, when you think about how you never let go of your phone, how you fill your hands with your phone, whether you're in the bathroom, whether you're cooking, whatever you're doing, you're constantly putting the debris from whatever you have done with your hands on your phone. And often people have not been taught to sanitize the phone because it becomes laden with levels of bacteria and unpleasant things because of we don't really think of it because it's become such a part of us. Like you walk into the bathroom with your hands, you walk in with the phone in your hand.
It's like it's a limb, an appendage.
Yes. And the same with you go into the refrigerator, you go outside, you sweep the floor, you do all these things, but mostly you have your phone with you and you're touching it all the time. Then you're putting it next to your face. So there's that. And next to your brain, and there's that. So the accumulate, and that's just the exterior aspect. Think about who was talking to you on the phone and what did they say? It's in the phone. Did you have to hang up on anybody in this last year? Did you decide not to answer the phone because someone got into your cyber number and called you and you looked at it and what did you think and direct towards that phone? Like, oh, I'm not answering that. Did you think that about your phone? Was it a joyous reunion every time your phone rang or every time you had a text? If it was joy, you're good. You're already good. If there was anything less than joy, you need a clearing. Your phone, your computer, all of your devices, if they're broadcasting horrible stories of fear or subjugation from social media, or I've seen a plethora of people tracking down their spouses to catch them doing something they shouldn't be doing in the relationship that they didn't agree to. If that's on your phone, on your tablets, on your computer, what is that frequency?
Trauma, etc.,
Yes.
trauma, all of
Drama,
that. Yeah.
trauma. It's not glorious. It's not giggling. It's not making you happy. It's not informing you that everything is right with the world and suddenly something marvelous has happened. Most of the stories are dark, leading to darker ideas, but you have to go to the next part to get to the darker idea.
They need your consent, to keep going and keep clicking. Oh, what else did they say here from this perspective? And next thing you know, just
so that
phones
becomes
pummeled and accumulated.
That's your new normal. And so now you have however many years since if you've never had a clearing, we can clear the device. We can teach you how to clear the device. You can keep your own device clear, or you can call us and we'll, as a service, you don't want to take the class, that's fine. We'll clear all of your devices for you. Well, we do this. We clear your flights. We clear your cars. We clear your devices. We clear your lawsuits. We clear a lot of things. We are hygiene specialists. This is what we do. This is the clarity of who we are. So we are able, because of our practices, to raise the frequency to a higher level that deconstructs whatever hardened ideas have been put into it, so it collapses the pattern of negative that has become the normal when you pick up the phone or when your children pick up the phone and we don't know what they're doing with the phones.
So this is part of the reason why, like being able to clear the different devices, clear your children's gaming console, their laptops, their tablets. There's a lot that they get exposed to, but what we're doing with this is an extension of let me preserve myself. Let me keep the sanctity of the home or my children and their devices and the exposure. And if you can keep down the accumulation, you have a greater chance at sustaining your overall light, your frequency.
Absolutely. It's so interesting. Phones are relatively new to humanity, but we've been taught what to do in a bathroom, how to clean it. We've been taught how to keep the kitchen clean and the refrigerator and the stove top. Nobody told us about the phones because it
You
used to be
know,
you didn't carry your transistor radio around with you, taped to your head. You didn't carry, the the uh, the big thing that was in your parents' and grandparents' living room around with you. You walked into the room. So we have not been taught to have respect for the reality that we know exists. We know what comes through our phones is not always positive, and that we are the responsible party in making sure our phones don't contaminate us.
I'm just thinking about like why is it so? Why is it like that? And like, the impact that our cell phones, our devices, it's subtle, right? And it's just like like energy in general, like energy hygiene. It's not often acknowledged because it's such a subtle thing, but oh my gosh, it's subtle, but it's
Well,
it's gonna show up. It materializes. It has weight and density.
it's like the idea of a dilapidated neighborhood, or what we used to call a ghetto or a slum. It doesn't happen all at once. It's like, right, it's a apartment
Gradual,
building
degrading.
where, for 30 years, people who are unhappy and fighting and arguing and in a lack live in it. Eventually, that building starts to look dilapidated, run down, like nobody cares, because it's reflecting the accumulated energy. It's not so much that one person did anything, it's like generations of people living unhappy lives create a frequency. When I drive through a neighborhood, I can feel the frequency of lack, feel the frequency of violence, feel the frequency of disgruntledness. We want to make sure our phones are not that we're not carrying around the disgruntledness of our bill collectors
Yeah, and
or
that's the
or
reality. Yeah.
whoever is calling us that's less than cheerful. So we have the ability to take care of that. You will have the ability to learn how to do it. This is basic hygiene that we've been taught about every other aspect of our life, but this aspect, we are not even taught to get the Windex and clean off the cover, clean off the glass. We're like a greasy fingerprint.
It's such a weird relationship we have with that appendage.
Yes.
Like it's like but it's so interesting though to see how again I keep using that language appendage like it's part of us, and so there is some level of truth that it is such, but my oh my, there's just so much influence that it has.
And it's so, what the part that we have been hardwired to is don't let it get in their water. I mean, even though they're waterproof now, but it's
Oh
like,
gosh.
don't wash it.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't let
So
it
so then he never sees the Windex. It's like
and don't drop it. Like you gotta hold tight to it and don't clean it.
yeah.
So it's like that's subtle.
That's a fascinating
It's a
observation.
subtle reference to, like, keep your hand on it. If you're want privacy, keep it close to your head, to your brain.
Like, what's that sizzling? What's that? Smell something smoking? Sizzling?
Oh yeah, it's very subtle, but we live in a world where our lives become better, and then the information that is attracted to come through the phone changes, because the phone then becomes a frequency match for other levels of cyber intelligence. Like, there's a certain level of frequency where that frequency can find the phone, because that phone is a frequency match for that level of uh, consternation. So it's the same way when it's all happiness and flowers and glory, it's a match for that.
As I have as a clearer, it's fascinating to see how energy can show up in electronics, and we can
Yes.
see like swing to the left or the right in terms of the impression, but it's so clear like what you're saying, how like darkness, for example, or the resonance, it'll show up in like you can't load the web pages, or you can't open up the conference. You know, we've seen this before where like interference can't get through.
I've seen it with, before there was internet, I ran a sewing factory, and we would have big industrial machines, and if somebody was disgruntled, the machines would stop working.
Yeah.
And then the person next to them, their machine would stop working, because it's the law. The law is that like things match. So you're disgruntled, you're not capable of having a clear signal, your machine is not going to have a clear signal.
Have any of you all ever experienced that? Someone getting into the devices and it just stopped working. It's like, I didn't do nothing. It was working before I gave it to you.
Yeah, but what were you thinking?
That part. That part. That part. That holographic connection.
Yes. Everything, the law is everything has to be a frequency match. So whoever you're looking at that looks like they're the opposite of you, if you are with them for a long time, you are matching at some level, at some degree, including what comes through your phone. There's some level of matching, especially if you have not decided to make it otherwise. It is in the decision. Once you recognize the law is in play, then you can decide your way out of it. But you have to recognize that it's not magic, it's not some mysterious otherworldly thing. The person is informing the material. We live in a material world. The material has been informed. They're disgruntled. The material's disgruntled.
It's like easy arithmetic.
Yeah, it is. It's not that often people think now that AI is intuitive. Yes and no. It's like it is following the frequency to its next logical pursuit because of it is so accurate. So the more accurate it can define to how many decimal, to the 5th decimal point out, it can then find the thing, and we don't have to think, we don't have to act like we're primitive, like, oh, fire. You know, it's like it's the law. It's not
because it is that it has been like that. I'm not gonna act it out this. Let you keep going.
So that's what I wanted to share about that. The device clearing will change your life.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, LaOta, for sharing. And again, this is gonna be so cool because we got some new charts that are coming forth for a myriad of all your different devices. And again, looking to continue with these auxiliary courses for the clearers. And so be on the lookout for some of the future classes, such as travel clearing. We'll be doing vehicle clearing as well, and many more. So also this month we have DNA activation and healing audit.
Yay.
DNA. So again, DNA activation. Shout out again to the sun, because I'm telling you, LaOta, whatever is happening with that sun, something's being communicated. I can feel it. But I digress. This is a prerequisite for quantum light property clearing. So having that in mind, for anyone who is looking to take quantum light property clearing, this is definitely your chance for the prerequisite. But even more so, the idea of DNA activation and healing audit is designed to essentially, let's start turning on the switchboard. Turn on the switchboard with that DNA. And we're reconnecting these severed etheric portions, which allows for greater access to the template, to the blueprint. But then there is replication of our strands. We have to keep doing the thing that would sustain 4th, 5th dimensional consciousness and higher, because that's essentially the goal. You know, to operate within a higher awareness and embodiment of our design wholeness.
Yeah.
And so, what are your thoughts on this, LaOta, just in general, in terms of the timing that we're in right now? Because, you know,
I'm so rebellious.
DNA,
you know, I'm feeling
soul.
really rebellious today. Like they said that it was 10 strands of junk.
Like,
no, it's not 10 strands.
Hold up.
I don't have 10 strands of junk. You know, I was supposed to have 12 strands of DNA, and yes, somebody tampered with it, but my blueprint is mine, and I will resuscitate it. And yes, it may take time to do it, but you're not going to just take 10 strands of my DNA and just abscond with it.
Right.
And just run down the road with all my DNA. And I'm standing there like, our recourse is we will call upon those who will help us. The Elohim and the genetic engineers, they will help us. They are experts and authorities in this universe on how to plug together DNA. And we are willing to be resuscitated and brought back to our original blueprint, and forget science saying that we got junk DNA.
Get y'all. There's no junk. Junk who? Who you?
I don't have
Who
no
is
junk,
the junk?
DNA.
Yeah.
And whoever took it, we coming for it. Coming for it. Coming for those 10 strands.
Like, run that.
I'm feeling a little rebellious.
Yeah, it's hilarious, but that's the type of energy that's required for replication. That intensity of popping out the soup of I'm a victim or this is happening to me. No, actually, no, I'm one with all that is. Matter of fact, look at what this is teaching me. Look at what my other self is doing for me to help me grow and move. So it's, and then on top of that, some of the latent aspects of our gifts, like,
Oh, yes,
you know, I mean, just like our, and it's, you know, the term gifts is kind of funny, you know, like, all right, well, here's your gift. All right, so you know you're about to ascend to 5D, right? And higher. I have a gift for you. Here's some clairsentience. Honey, here's some clairaudience for you. No, it's just really who we are. The design, you know.
And who we are is a gift. Like,
True,
I get it.
true, yeah, right. Bundle me up, put a bow on it. Yeah.
Who we are is a gift, but it is this, we of the Sun, our main purpose is moving ourselves and all of those who want to move with us into sovereignty. This is one of the many steps towards hygiene and regaining our strands of DNA and calling back the truth into our experience and taking charge of our own reality and making sure that we are not vibrating at a victim level where we will meet victimhood that matches it. Now, we're not looking to do that, and this is one of the ways in which that can happen, and it requires us to be solid. It requires us to know who we are, or at least be at the beginning of being able to handle the clairsentience, clairaudience, clairvoyance. You know, are you ready for it?
Right? Like, can you handle what? That's real. That is so true.
So what happens is in the process of being connected, the etheric portion of the DNA that has been absconded with, that was cut out of the thread and taken away from us, can be resuscitated through our direct and intense willingness to stay at the higher frequencies. When victimhood, sadness, abuse, jealousy, competition, none of that is the food that will grow that. The food that grows that is clarity, it is generosity, it is love, it is support, it is camaraderie. Those are the frequencies, and yes, we are aware of them, but most of us are not in those frequencies 85.5% of the time, which is what's required.
And so it's the analogy is really great. The feeding and what are you consuming, and the by way of frequency, which can be many different things, and this sustaining the intensity. You're saying like at 85% of our time we might not be in that space, and I think this is something that I think is so important, because you're speaking in language in terms of the percentage of how much of our experience is there in truth when we calibrate it. Because, like, for example, sometimes people are like, you might need a little more gratitude. Yeah, I'm thankful, and then the reality is that they've never even said thank you that day at all, or the last time they were grateful was maybe a week ago, but in their minds it looks different. They think of themselves as a grateful person. But I can see where the importance of like the context of what is really happening, how much of our energy and time is allocated to, for example, staying outside of complaining about our life, because you mentioned victimhood, how much time our energy is focused on staying outside of competing with people who we're supposed to be in collaboration with. It's just these things, like what are we feeding and what are we fasting from?
Yes, it's really point of view. Living in this time of the deconstruction of the empire, it's so easy to point outwards. What did they do last night? What are they doing
Yeah,
today?
because they stay doing
What's on the
things.
news? What happened? But our point of view has to be that of what am I doing? What am I feeding into the field that changes the power that I think they are exerting on me, which in fact is just a reflection of whatever you're thinking.
It's Jedi mind trick.
Yeah, it really is. It's really this idea. Am I grateful enough today? Am I loving enough today? Am I forgiving enough today that it changes my landscape in my house, in my job, with my child, with my lover? Aha, I see that that does happen. So that means I could take my tribe and we could imprint the field even more. I could teach my children to be grateful. I could remind my mother to be grateful. I could, do things to make people grateful for dinner. Whatever the case is, this is the impact and the reality of how you reach sovereignty. You reach it one step at a time, but each time you take a step, you gain ground that you will never give up again if you understand what's going on. You want to gain ground. You want to gain absolute integrity over your experience, supreme clarity of where you're going, who you are. We have to relinquish the idea that someone else has a better idea. That, oh, what are they doing over there in Switzerland? I think I want to do what they're doing. We have to really relinquish the idea that we go back to the old country. I'll go back to whatever my old country is, and then it'll all be okay. But the people in the old country are drunk and having wars and rioting too. So it is a humanity issue, and there is such a thing as critical mass. And we saw that at COVID, because one day there was something in China, next day it was all over the world. That's critical mass.
Yeah, it was
That's
a
how that
wild
works.
time.
It proved itself. I don't even have to give any proof. It proves itself all the time. The idea that if enough of us discipline ourselves, get back our DNA, take charge of our devices, take charge of our cyber world, take charge of what we're thinking, we will be the ones in charge, because that's what that means. We take it back because we have let it go.
Yeah, it's such a deep understanding, because the hologram is so convincing. It's like, but LaOta, look what they did to me. Oh.
I know.
Yeah, but
he
like,
shouldn't have said that to me.
so convincing. It's like, come here. Let me hold your hand when I say this. I know Timmy smacked you, but Timmy is you. Okay? That's you.
Stop.
And,
Take your hands off your neck. Stop choking yourself.
and it's such a psyop, and it's wild because for someone such as yourself, we've had dialogue where you're of the mind where when you understand something, you're like, oh, new data, all right. Now, I'm leveled up. Now I know what to do, what not to do. I know how to maneuver. So this understanding would significantly change the game. Of course, starting with what's within arm's reach.
Yes.
Because these larger systemic issues that we see, they're big, but they are holographically. We see them in our relationship with family, friends, lovers, co-workers, people at the store. It's all there holographically, and to see self in it, oneness is always the solution.
It is always the solution. It's very interesting. I heard a quote that I thought was really excellent for everyone, and a person had pronounced some things to be true, and then was challenged years later and said, "Well, you said back in the day, so and so and so. And the person said, well, when the facts change, I'll change. So you have the opportunity that if you have changed, your facts have changed, you can be someone new. So whatever you did before, it's a redo, it's a start over.
Like that.
Yeah, let's just start over. Like, I know you thought that everybody was persecuting you, but now that you know that you were a self-hater, now you have an opportunity to treat yourself better, and amazingly, you're having a better experience. It's just the truth of how it works. It's the law. You love yourself through and through, deeply, you're not of two minds about it, you'll have loving experiences.
Okay.
But most of us don't love ourselves, so we have a myriad of different kinds of experiences that show us to the degree we don't like ourselves. And it shows up in a variety of different ways. And so you are encouraged to know you can do a redo. Like, you got more facts? We could change the equation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
we could,
this. It's
we could start over. So it's never too late. You are encouraged to stop slapping yourself around.
Yeah, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. This is a very strengthening perspective to have. You know, it feels very good. Like knowing, like, okay, that's you. It loses power. It diminishes in terms of there's something out there to like, oh, I just got to change me. I think one of our card pulls today was frequency. You know, and like you change the frequency, the universe has no choice but to respond differently the moment we change it.
It's true. People have a lot of issues with this because we are so limited in our sight. So we can only see 4% of what's going on in the room that we're sitting in. That's the same thing about who we are and what's going on.
Yeah.
Things are happening to us. We are being informed by our ancestry. It is downloading into us, and we're having those experiences as well, or our educational experience, or we're being informed by the frequency of where we live or what the apartment's like, or all of these kinds of things. So we think, oh, well, that couldn't be true, but it's only because the limitation that we live within doesn't allow us to see it. However, all you have to do is ask for correction and to see more, and then more will become available.
So you answered my question that I was about to. It was just for the people who are listening. I was going to ask you, yeah, like, how can one? What would you recommend for one to synthesize ourselves to that subtleness? Because it is there. It's always there.
The topic you want to talk about today actually opens up that door. There's a lot of different things that can be said, but truth is one of the first ones.
Ooh, the gateway.
So what is the tenet for today? There are 7 tenets through which of the sun operates. Those who are in agreement with us, we are encouraging you to adhere to these 7 tenets so that we can be harmonized together. And if it doesn't agree with you, it's okay. But this is how we roll, so to say.
I like that. This is how we roll. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right. So this is a little recap. So the first tenet we covered was uphold energy hygiene as a lifestyle. And so with this, we are maintaining our personal energy hygiene practices daily.
We talked about that on the last live stream.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, so it's just in keeping, like brushing your teeth, clean and clear daily. So we are clearing spaces regularly and avoiding entanglement with distortion.
Yes.
You know, and everything that entails. So today, our tenet is focused on being a steward of truth, and to speak and live from truth. Do not bypass, mislead, or distort. Align with divine will. So each one of these ideas can be deep dived into. There's depth, but beginning with the idea of truth, we were talking about earlier. There's power in being the truth.
Oh,
like,
my goodness. Yes.
would you take us on a little exploration of like how is that so? How is it? Because you know, there's a lot of like people who's like, I want truth. You know, where there's a call for it now, and like, what is that we're really looking for?
It's the idea. I mean, there's so many ways to talk about
exactly.
this. The way I will choose to talk about it first is this idea of a spinal column. of the erectness of a spinal column that then feeds all of the muscles, all of the tendons, all of the fascia, every other aspect, every organ to make sure that the body can operate. It is the strength, it is the what we think of as refer to as character. It is the spinal integrity of how life must be lived. So truth in and of itself is the light through which other things can be fueled. With our biological bodies, and this is science, our bodies are part of creation. We're not robots. We are part of creation, and our bodies were established in divine consciousness. So we are established in truth. And the body, even when we do a lot of things to it, the body tries to uphold its integrity and sovereignty in that truth all the time. Now, our brains and our minds are something else. Yeah, that's a different aspect. But the body itself, your fingers remain your fingers. Your toes remain your toes.
They're not trying to be other than
They're
what
not
they
trying
are.
to be your heart.
Yeah.
They're not trying to be your navel.
And I'm grateful. Hear that? I'm thankful.
And so the integrity of the organs, the integrity of the body itself is the truth of its divine design. So let's start there. That is truth. We were designed in truth. We were established in truth. So that then means that when we operate by speaking, thinking, and doing truth, it gives the body the power and the strength. It feeds it what it needs to operate correctly, given its divine establishment. When we do the opposite, we take away from it. So when I say, is your name Tarvars, and you say yes, that's a strengthening move that's communicated vibrationally through your entire being and then the space around you. And if I say, is your name the Long Ranger? And you say yes, and it's not.
My physical being will lose vibrational integrity.
It does lose vibrational integrity because you have just, your body's like, what?
Looking over the shoulder. My body's like, who's that?
So when you live a life of integrity and honesty, or when you, and this is the part I really like to talk about, the truth that you prognosticate. So if you say, I'm going to take you to the park, and then you do that, you become stronger, you become greater, you become more. If you say, I'm going to take you shopping, and then that never happens, it is noted that that didn't happen, and now you become less strong, less congruent, less integritous. If you live a life where you're saying things that you'll never do, yeah, I'll do that, and then you never do it, you start to deteriorate the very construction and integrity of the body itself. So it doesn't mean that you will fall into illness, but if you spend 30 years doing that, you will not have the strength that your original blueprint was designed in. Because the very idea of your word is bond is part of the law that goes on because the body was designed and word is bond. Like this arm is going to be this arm, and this arm is never going to not be this arm. Whether it's attached or not attached.
It's going to be the arm.
Yes. And so this is the lesson to get from the Creator. You can't be God in your own experience if you can't get from your thought from your mouth to the next person accurately and deliver that truth. Like we go into the park. That's if that doesn't happen, you lost your godhood along the way. If it has to come into the mind, you have to consider it, you have to say it, then you have to enunciate it and mean it, and then do the thing that makes it happen.
That's a very fascinating perspective. I like the language. You have lost your godhood along the way.
Yes.
Like what that means when you're. Again, this is something pretty much most humans deal with. keeping their word to themselves, to others, truth, a world of a little white lie, you
Yeah.
know, where it won't hurt anybody. When you just conveyed or illustrated how the words or the unkept promises to ourselves and to others, it's having weight on the body, like it's
Well,
tearing down, and it's
you create the idea in
yeah.
your own head. So it should be something like you want to color a picture, you should have the idea of how to color a picture. So you create the idea of, I'm going to get up from this chair and move to the couch. And then you put it into the atmosphere, and that action should happen or be canceled and another action replacing it. It's just like anything else would be. When you don't, you have all of these fragmented loose ends floating around your room of things that you said that you were going to do and you didn't do, and the people are calling you liars, and people are saying you don't keep your word, and you've got all of this mischief and negative has been created because you didn't have the follow through or the will to do the thing you thought of and agreed to do inside your own head. Because you can always say, somebody says, will you take me to a park? You say, no. That's their idea. But if it's your idea, you do yourself a greater injury. Because you thought it up, agreed to it, said it, and you'll often hear me say, my word is good. Well, you've been hearing that for years.
Yeah.
Because it's very important to be integritous in the privacy of your own head. If I say, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do this exercise, and I'm not talking to anybody else. I'm talking to me. And then I get up and don't do it, and I don't do that for a long time. How do I feel about me?
So this takes me back to the initial prompting. You lose your godhood. I see, I'm going to go do the thing, and then you don't do it. And so would you speak on, like, what is that? Like, when you say that, like you
lose your godhood?
Yeah.
The goal of the Sun, our goal is sovereignty, which is the supreme absolute power over self. This is an opportunity. You could have gained sovereignty over self just by doing the thing you said to yourself that you were going to do in the privacy of your own self.
Yeah. Like, all right, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna follow through. We're gonna follow through.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the same way that we do other things that are unconscious, so like the brushing the teeth, the washing, taking the shower, these things, this then becomes that way. This becomes the unconscious agreement that you and your body and your consciousness has that knows, oh, everybody line up. She's saying stuff. Like, we're going to have to get on and do some squats. We're about to have to do something because she's developing. It's like, everybody ready? And this is really not about anyone outside of you, because where you establish this is within self first. You establish, what time am I going to get up? How many times you hit that snooze button? Do you need an alarm when you and your body are in agreement with what time you get up? You're like, hey,
Great point.
wake me at 6. 5 minutes to 6. It's like, I said 6. This is power. This is power on a very small level, but it is power that can be magnified amongst others. If everyone you knew, everyone in your tribe, everybody in your family kept their word to themselves all the time, and let's exclude you from it, how much stronger would you be? What if they just did what they were saying to themselves? What if they decided not to eat that ding dong?
Would you speak a little more about this? We'll go to a quick commercial break soon, but I have been seeing within the experience of a Sun where, that ancestry is really kicking up.
Yes.
Ancestry is showing out. Yeah, somebody, let me know. Ancestry showing out. Type in the chat. Let us know if ancestry is showing out. Reason being is that we are seeing that people are. And it's beautiful though too, because as we add more light, things come to the surface. the congestion that has been there.
Yeah.
We see that the congestion that we're carrying is not just our own souls.
Right.
We're carrying congestion from our lineage. We're carrying congestion from the spectrum of the gender that we're with. We're carrying it like it's like collective. There's layers of it, and our capacity to be the truth to ourselves, to keep our own word, and how it's such an ancestral thing.
It is.
Yeah, would you speak a little more about this, because it's showing up everywhere.
It's in everything. We're living in fake news. We're living in the antithesis of truth. We're living in the fake. So everything is. We are at the deconstruction time where the ancestry is collapsing onto us, where the jobs and the things that we thought, education is collapsing onto us, medicine is collapsing onto us, all that same. But you are able to bite-size one piece at a time. Once you get the idea of truth, then it will inform all of those areas, including your ancestry. You decide, I'm going to be the truth. You go into meditation, you call for correction, you start calling for the truth. We have been doing this for decades. We have been calling for the truth for decades. So many aspects of our reality have already strengthened themselves. When you think about your personal experience with your ancestry, think about the many, many, many aspects of your experience that have already straightened themselves out. So you got ancestry still left, but think about how you have extricated yourself from so many things through deciding to be the truth, asking for correction, understanding that you are the sovereign rule of who you are. And so ancestry is one of those, I don't want to call it the last frontier.
Look, hey, look, I think that holds true, because I remember years ago you said to me, Tarvars, if you master your ancestry, you have truly become a master, because to be above that takes great will. Okay, be master. If I overcome my family's issue, it stick with me. And to this day, I was like, oh my gosh, it's such a thing.
It is. It really is. And the thing what I would recommend is, before you go into battle with putting down what you see needs to be addressed, pull out forgiveness and pull out compassion. Let those be your swords. Let one sword be forgiveness and the other sword be compassion, and let you be anointed with those swords first. You forgive you first. You have compassion for you first, recognizing that you are being informed. You live in material that others who came before you, who had traumatic experiences, were part of the material that you're living in. Your soul lives in the material that came from them. Once you have that clarity, be like, this must be my grandmother. This must be my great-great uncle. And that clarity, that truth, that reality gives you mastery. And then you can say, I forgive myself for wasting any time with Uncle Pete's stuff. I have compassion for the horrible experiences that they had and that they didn't know, but I know better. And I choose not to have that. So if it pops up, it's like the man who wanted to quit smoking, and he put the cigarette in his pocket, and he walked around, and every time he wanted to smoke, he took out the cigarette and said no.
Yeah, it's like,
So every time something comes up in you that says you're nothing, or something comes up and says you're always going to be poor, or some insult comes up to you that has come through the lineage that everyone agreed with, we go just be poor, we're not going to have anything, we're not this and that, whatever that comes, and you take it out and you're like, no. Put it back in your pocket, carry it around if you have it handy so you can address it. Don't pretend it don't exist.
Yeah, right? Like, I hear no evil, see no. No.
It's the same way I talk to mental patients when I'm talking to mental patients. If they're saying, well, the voice is telling me I'm nothing, I said, then tell it it's a liar. Like, liar, liar. Like, turn up. Like if it turned up on you, you turn back up on it. It's inside your head. That's your space. You know, like that's the space that you have command over.
Like hello. Okay.
It may not be like your bedroom, but it's like it's
Yeah.
inside your head. And if it whatever is coming to you that's influencing you to be less than great, less than wonderful, less than all that you know that is possible, put it down with enthusiasm. Take out that cigarette like, no, buddy. You know, don't be talking crazy inside my head.
Like, we don't do that here.
Yeah.
Shoes off at the door.
You're going to have to leave if you won't be quiet. You won't talk nice.
Do that one more time. You say something. You say something one more time, Power. Guess who's going to the mass clearing?
Guess who I'm calling to clear you?
It's hilarious, but it's the truth that these things have form. They respond, and they know when we mean it. They know when we don't.
Well, the reality is it can only exist with your consent. It only exists because you allow or permit it. The person who slapped you, the person who did wrong to you, the person who cheated on you only exists because you allow or permit it. Once you get that clarity, everything else is children's toys. You're like, oh, I was doing that? Oh, well, me and me gonna have a conversation. Because I know I can't change you, but I can change me.
It's like, give me a moment.
Yes. So this is really about relationships. It's our relationship with the truth. And it's important. The language that was used in the tenet is that we need to be stewards of the truth. And what a steward represents is that we are taking care of something for someone else. We're taking care of the truth for the future, for us later, for our parents, for our children, for the earth. If we don't take care, if it's all fake news, that's really problematic. It has to be that we are stewards of the truth, and every time we tell the truth, we see it as becoming stronger, having that erect spinal column, having that integrity that will keep the earth being integritous, so that keeps everything in order. So I wanted to make sure I say that.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
Okay.
It's a strong way to end. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break from our sponsor, LaOta. So hang tight, and we will get to the chat. We see you all are hanging strong with us, and seeing what your commentary is on these concepts of being the truth, or a steward of truth.
So, what does the future of money look like to you, Alex?
The future of money won't be about what we use. It'll be about who we trust. We're heading into a world where money is no longer paper. It's data. Central bank, digital currencies, programmable payments, and surveillance systems will redefine how value moves. But here's the twist. The more digital it gets, the more people will crave something real. That's why gold and silver aren't disappearing. They're becoming the anchor in a world of floating code. Money will evolve technologically, but it will always revolve around trust. And digital systems can't replicate 5,000 years of human belief in tangible value. The future of money? Digital convenience built on physical truth. The code will change, but the collateral won't. Because in every era, old or new, gold stays the final receipt.
We send thanks and gratitude to our sponsor, LaOta, and you can visit LaOtaInc.com for wealth, assets management, and protection. And so, again, there's a lot of weird, jinky things happening, and it's good to know somebody who knows the ins and outs of the systems, and so you can book a consultation with Alex regarding these ideas. So we have quite a few people here.
Oh, good.
And so I'm going to give a quick shout out to some of you all in the chat. So in Location Veritas, we have Steph of the Sun, Leoneri. In Location Studio 1 is in the house, Squared. We have Lauren's in the house, Stacy OTS in the house, Lisbeth is here, CC Tree. And we got a comment from Lauren. My daughter and I have an agreement to the amount on the screen. Hold on a second. I'm going to go ahead and share this on the screen so you can see this. My daughter and I have an agreement to the amount of screen time she has on her phone each day. When she gets upset, wanting more time, the phone literally locks her out or shuts down. That's what I'm talking about. Serious parentals. It's like, are you mad? No screen time. How about that?
Yeah.
It's I think it's an interesting time to see in terms of exposure and again the necessity of like what comes through the phone and how clearing can help influence algorithm and what the children are exposed to as well through their devices.
Absolutely.
We got Shaka Warrior. I smiled as soon as I clicked on. Both of your inner vibrances radiate gleamingly on the outside. Let me get my shades.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shaka. Honor, respect, and gratitude.
And Light Body Movement. Shout out for Light Body Movement. Light Body is available. People can have you can have a light body.
Yeah, this is the real thing. It's just that you're sharing these concepts here where you can consume light in so many different ways. You can stay cute forever. People are stressing. People want to be cute. Get some light. All right, so we got Gina. Gina is here. In Lakesh and Veritas. Always grateful for you two delightful souls. Oh, hold on a second. Comments are rolling in. Just a second. Here we are. Always grateful for you two delightful souls and the energy and thoughts you share with us. Honor, respect, gratitude, integrity, discipline, and action, oneness, and honesty. Sent. She's like, just take that. Take off.
Thank you.
We have Roberts in the house. He says, when we compare ourselves to what we believe we should be, which is programmed into us, it's hard to be happy with who we are. Life is a SAT class, and only a few have a cheat from the start.
Yes, but you can do a redo at any time. When you know that much, you know that much. This is like the baby who poops in their diaper and asks you to go get me a diaper. Like, would you change me? It's like when you know the dynamics that you were programmed, when you know that you are railing against the programming that is lying to you, you're all but done. It's just the motion of doing it. Others are really much more in the dark than that. This is a person who already knows. Now it's implementation, and we can help with the implementation because that's the business. We're in the practical application of these ideas instead of the airy-fairy. We're in the practical application of how to keep things off of you and how to get you through the crevices.
Yeah. So we got some more commentary here. We have Shaka Warrior. To be a steward of truth is to become a living expression of it. Your integrity becomes your message. Your character becomes your testimony. Your life becomes an example of what it means to walk in authenticity, courage, humility, and love. In that alignment, your frequency changes, not because you're trying to become someone else, but because you are becoming more fully who you were created to be. Truth is not merely information.
Absolutely. Like those moccasins. I'm going to put those moccasins on and walk my life through those moccasins. That's right. There are challenges based on whatever else has happened in the lineage, the environment. We are informed by the earth and what the earth has gone through, what Mother Earth has gone. We're informed by the air, what the air is dealing with. We're informed by our ancestry. We're informed by the sun. We're informed by all of these things. And once we get that, we have the solution becomes available. Because we can be what we choose to be should we hold the congruent thought long enough, with enough intensity, without compromise. The law is that you get what you want if the thought is congruent and held long enough. Mostly we don't believe what we think. Mostly, we want a life that's different than our parents have, but we don't believe it's possible. So we don't hold the thought congruently, and then we're like, so, see, 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 I can't have what I want. Like I told you so. You know, that's what most people do. What we have to remember is we are eternal. We have time to hold the thought. We got time to do all the other things that take us away from holding the thought.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. It's always like that.
Yes.
If you look back and be like, all right, 21 days transmutation, like how many times you've had to start that over and realize that no, like I've had the time to do it. I think that's so interesting. You often speak about coherence, the need to continue to hold the signal, the broadcast, and
there's
go
something
ahead,
really
yeah.
good about this too, is that because we are eternal, because all of our world religions teach us that there's life after life and that there's an afterlife.
Yeah,
You know,
the
all
life
of,
after the life you're living.
yeah, that
It's right there in our faces.
it's always been taught that way, and it actually is true. There is really no death. That everything you do, when you hear the signal that says, erect your spinal column so that you can be more integritous, and then you feel like, oh yeah, but that red velvet cake, what the reality is that every gain you make in this life goes to the next life. So every time we look back at our ancestry and see who fell off the wagon, every time we look and see who didn't quite make it, who took themselves out too soon, we can see the evidence that they didn't hold the signal long enough. And so now here we are with their not having held the signal long enough DNA. I got your don't hold the signal DNA.
The signal only hold for like 3 days and then it dropped. Try to change the batteries. It's like, what's going on?
We have the opportunity to make our next experience, the life after life, our next experience is being made by whether we hold the signal or not. It's not about whether you're going to get to the Super Bowl at the end of the month. It's about, are you going to make it to the super life at the end of this one?
Yeah, that's, this language and how you convey it, it's stretches or requires the mind to stretch to consider more than just like now. And it becomes so clear how we've been conditioned to only be like here, not in the positive be here now mode, like to our detriment. We're not considering the impacts of the past and the waves and how it influences our now, or the cosmic understanding of the future, or the dimensional aspects. This again is I can feel the stretch in when you convey these concepts.
Yeah. I often find people who hate themselves because they feel like they have no willpower and they can't do anything. I'm like, you've been informed by 50 generations of people who were not doing that. Like you have to forgive yourself, have compassion for them, and then stop it. Then keep your word to yourself. Yes, absolutely. You can't walk around hating self because you don't understand who self is. You don't understand your self is Mother Earth. She's been through a lot. Yeah. Your self is your great-great-grandmother. She's been through a lot. And that she may have collapsed in a puddle at the end of the day at 85 years old, and you are being informed by that. It doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to. You can acknowledge that. You can forgive your consternation, rebelling against it. You can have compassion. You can be the hero in this story. You get to be the hero in this story. You get to be the one with the cape.
Yeah, it's good about the take off on us.
You get to be the one that has the signal in the sky. Because if you hold the signal for what you can do, nobody is making you do anything. Nobody made the ones who came before you do anything. No one is making excuses for the horrible things that have been done. We're just saying that every moment, in the now moment, is an opportunity. You go back to the past and think about what happened to you when you were a child. You lost. There's only power in the moment you're in. So if you go back, well, he said, my boyfriend told me 3 years ago, you lost. You're in the wrong space to make something new happen. You can only make something happen in the moment you're in. You can't go back and cry over what happened before and think that that will create a different reality now. So once you understand these basic laws and principles, your next anticipated moment can shift. It doesn't mean that you're going into the future to make it, but in your now moment, you can make things stack up in your favor so much it's going to fall over into the future.
Yeah.
You know.
The
So
visual is very, very clear.
this is very
like-
important so that you stop injuring yourself with your own very powerful will to punish yourself.
I like what you were saying earlier. You were talking about time, and when you were just speaking, I was making the connection again where the feeling of wanting things to rush, because this analogy that you were just using, it makes me think about nature and how things grow and the water. Like, it does take a little time.
Yes.
When we're focusing or holding the broadcast, we're growing something, and patience is required. And again, you said, I'm an eternal being. I have the time to think the thought or to take action on the thought, materialize the thought.
You're living in physical reality is not instantaneous. Cyber reality is instantaneous.
Yeah.
Physical reality, things have to grow from a seed. You're a sperm before you're a person. This is physical reality. The laws of physical reality already have set the standard that it will take time.
Yeah.
And if you can marshal your will and your desire in a coherent manner, you can shift your reality by knowing that there is no end. That you're making the next, it's like you're making the cake, it's got to go in the oven.
Yeah. It's going to take
Yeah, it
the
needs
time that it takes.
ingredients, it's got to go in the oven, you know, all of those things, and then you have the benefit of it. I think the signal in the sky should be truth. You know, the idea of truth can be the North Star. If I become the truth, then my experience will be the truth, then I'll attract the truth to me, then I'll be sleeping with somebody who's the truth instead of whatever else there is. You know, so there is that, let me call for truth. I can't go wrong with that. There's no downside. No, a lot of people do tell me, I don't want the truth because then I'll have to stop eating what I eat, or I'll have to read the science, or I'll have to, it's like, that's going to happen inevitably. You know, at some point, the lie is not going to uphold you. So you are going to be a victim of the lie if you don't ask for the truth.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to.
It's funny because it's like you can't escape it.
No.
You know, it's gonna at some point. So you might as well. It's what I'm seeing with that is this weight of responsibility that comes with it. Like that's like the thing that, and you know the classic saying, with great power comes great responsibility, and it feels like that's part of the key. Would you say that? You know, being able to accept, like to you. Again, I'm doing the call back to when you said our incongruency, we can lose our godhood, and like how that looks in that moment, you know. And so you got any other thoughts on this before we continue on, because it's
I think the thing I'd like to share about this is that what's in front of us, if we marshal ourselves, tell ourselves the truth, hold ourselves to that understanding, is glory. It's glory.
Yeah.
Because everything changes. Where we live, who we talk to, what our job is, how much money we make, it all changes in the presence of truth. As long as we're telling ourselves the lies from our childhood, we're still holding on to what somebody did to us, as long as we think that everyone else has authority over us because we have not chosen to be sovereign, that's pain and suffering. There's glory on the other side of that. So that's how I'd like to end this.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. So, again, if you all enjoyed the show, click the like button, the subscribe, the little bell notification. Every Thursday, we're here, 12
Yes.
noon.
And
calling
we'll
for the
be
truth.
talking about more tenets in the weeks to come. Thank you so much. We give you the greetings of Inlakesh, oneness, veritas, truth, with honor, respect, gratitude, integrity, discipline, and action. Thank you.